Have you ever sat down to write and before you knew it, hours have flown by and thousands of words filled your page? That magical state of pure focus where the story pours out faster than you can type is called binge writing. In this video, I'll show you how to master binge writing, how to write more words, finish drafts faster, avoid burnout, and unlock your best creative flow. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned author, binge writing just might be the secret weapon that takes your storytelling to the next level. Welcome to Write to Live Forever. I am Sinmisola Ogunyinka, and today we are diving deep into binge writing, one of the most powerful, misunderstood, and sometimes controversial techniques in the writer's toolbox. If you've ever struggled with writer's block, procrastination, or the endless grind of daily writing habits, binge writing could be your breakthrough. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to plan, execute, and recover from a writing binge without burning out. Let's get into it. What is binge writing? Let's start with the basics. Binge writing means writing in long, focused bursts of time, sometimes hours at a stretch, where you push yourself into deep concentration and aim to produce a massive amount of words in a single session. I remember one session like that I had, it lasted all night, 7 hours I was writing. So unlike the traditional write every day advice, which is a great piece of advice, by the way, binge writing doesn't require daily consistency. You know, I am all for consistency, but when we want to go into binge writing, it does not require consistency. Instead, it relies on intensity. Now, think about NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing Month. And, they choose November for it. And, well, it just happens we're in November, all right? So, but thousands of writers complete 50,000 words in just 30 days because they rely on writing binges. You see how that works? So they have several hours of concentrated writing at a time. And I'm excited to talk about that with us in this video. So a binge can be 2 hours, 4 hours, 7 hours like the one I had, or even an entire weekend retreat. The key is immersing yourself so deeply that the words flow almost without resistance. You silence distractions, silence your inner editor, and give yourself full permission to write badly. Because what matters in a binge is getting it down and out, not getting it perfect. What are the benefits of binge writing? Why binge write? What do I gain from binge writing? First, you have momentum. Writing for hours without stopping pulls you right into the story. In fact, your story, your fiction may get to a place where you need to binge write, where the characters are raging and fighting and asking to be let out onto the pages of your book. So you live with these characters, you feel their emotions, you make the connections with you faster when you binge write. So momentum is one benefit. Again, freedom is another benefit of binge writing. So the second one is freedom. Binge writing silences perfectionism. Because you don't have time to edit as you go, you free yourself to write imperfectly, and that's often when your best creativity emerges. Believe you me. Another benefit, the third one that I'll be saying in this video, is the flow state. Oh, what a sweet state. Athletes call it being in the zone. For writers, it's when you stop overthinking and the story starts, just writing itself. Your characters start expressing themselves. They start speaking what they want. They start doing what they want. Your binge sessions, often trigger this flow, which doesn't come if you are regulated or regimented. Oh, I only have 1 hour to write, and then I write that 1 hour, and then tomorrow I write another 1 hour, which is great. I'm all for consistency, but your writers flow better, your characters flow better when you are binge writing. So another benefit, the number 4 benefit, is the result. With binge writing, you see progress fast. Imagine knocking out 5,000 words in one sitting. Isn't that amazing? That's the entire chapter, or 2 chapters, or even 3 chapters. And after 3 or 4 binges, you could finish a draft in days instead of weeks or years. All right, so I've known authors who drafted entire novellas in a single weekend retreat. I have done it before, like binged for 6 hours, 7 hours. I told us of one experience that I had several years ago. It was all night. I didn't even blink. My household was asleep and I was wide awake writing. So that's the power of a binge. Now, what are the risks? Because it will not be right if I don't tell you about the risks that come with binge writing. Of course, no technique is perfect. Binge writing has its risk, and if you are not careful, it can leave you burned out, honestly. So, the first risk is exhaustion. Hours of non-stop typing can drain you mentally and physically. Another risk is that writer's block rebound. Second risk is writer's block rebound, for real. After a binge, some writers crash and they won't write for weeks. So you need to be careful about that you don't burn yourself out after you have written so much that you have done, achieved, and then your mind blocks everything out. Then another one, a third risk is physical strain. Long sessions can hurt your wrists, your backs, your eyes if you don't take breaks. So even when you are binging or when you are binge writing, you also need to be careful and you need to take note of your physical ability. It can be very sweet, and you keep going and keep going and keep going. Your eyes will get tired, your back, your fingers, your hands. So you need to take breaks, stand up, stretch, go grab a cup of tea, cup of coffee, like do a little 5-minute exercise and things like that. But here's the good news. You can avoid these pitfalls with a few smart habits. Just like I was saying earlier, you can set timers using the Pomodoro technique. We do 25 to 50 minutes of writing and then you take a short break. And then you should also stay hydrated. Like I said, grab a cup of juice, a cup of tea. If you want to be on the healthy side with like me, you can, get your bottle of water, add a lemon or lime or cucumber in it just to make it a little bit tastier and healthier. And just drink your water, keep yourself, stay hydrated. Then you move your body, stretch, go on a little walk, rest your eyes, just close your eyes. Don't think, don't do anything. Just close your eyes and stay for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just like that. And it helps to, relax your muscles and helps to, do some exercise. And then you can leave yourself notes, when you stop, write a quick summary of what happens next. So it's easier to dive back in later on. So when you go for your 5 minute exercise, before you do that, you can just note the things you want to happen so that the flow will not be broken by those little breaks that you're taking. Now, binge writing should energize you, not destroy you. I love it so much. I enjoy it so much. Again, this is something that I have done many times and I enjoy it, and it's a beautiful technique if you focus on how to use it well. If you are finding this video enjoyable so far, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet done so, but also like this video and share with other creatives, other writers that you know. Thank you. Now, let me tell us real quick how to binge write effectively. Let's get practical. I like to be very practical so that we are not just talking facts and figures, we are really doing it. Writing is a creative talent. It's something that is very practical. So, how do you actually binge write effectively? And I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide. So, step number one, plan your session. Don't just say, all right. Set a clear goal. If you want to achieve 2,000 words, you want 3 scenes, 1 chapter, 5 chapters. I do that a lot. When I start binging, I just tell myself, okay, I'm going to take this character from this scene to this scene, or I'm going to do crash 5 chapters in this binge writing session. So plan your session. Now, step number 2, outline in advance. Now, binging is a beautiful thing, and some of us write organically. We just sit down and we start writing, and it's flowing, and one scene to the other, one character to the other, and everything is going and flowing, and it's beautiful. However, if you want to plan a binging session, it's also good to have an outline. Plan out your outline so that you know exactly, it helps you to direct how you're going to be writing. So even if it's just bullet points, know where what you're going to write before you start. And this prevents any kind of stalling in your binging, because like you have set aside 5 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. 10 hours is too much, don't. But you have set aside this stretched or lengthy period of time. You don't want to be stalled or cut off in the middle. So that's where outlining comes in. Step number 3, create your writing pace. Turn off Wi-Fi, silence your phone, close your social media. If music helps, use a playlist. If silence helps, shut the door and just write. But create that atmosphere that will help your writing to flow and to be great, and your binging sweet. All right. Step number 4, use sprints. Write in bursts. For example, you can set a timer for 45 minutes. Write without stopping. And then you can take a 5 or 10 minute break, and then you repeat it again. That helps for someone who is just starting to binge write. Somebody like me, I can go an hour, 2 hours without stopping, but don't do that. Having sprints and breaks really helps you to stay consistent in your binging. All right, step number 5, track your progress. You can use different software to track your progress. And if you are writing even with pen and paper, you can look at how many pages you've written. Seeing your word counts climb motivates you to keep going. So if you are writing in Word, or you are using Google Docs, or all these other ones, they will be showing your word count at the bottom of the page. You see how many words you've typed. Looking at it and tracking your progress really does help in encouraging you to keep going. Step number 6 is end with a hook for yourself. Stop in the middle of an exciting scene that will make you want to come back. That way, when you return, you know exactly where to pick up. So that hook is not for your reader this time. It's for you, the writer. Oh, wow. I'm really happy doing this video. I'm so excited because, again, like I said, it's something that I do all the time. All right. So, who should binge write? Who benefits the most from binge writing? Now, let me say clearly, of course, if you're a writer, you are the benefactor. You are the one that is benefiting because you are writing. But there's a specific group of people, a certain group of people who I think, this binge writing really helps with their writing a lot. The first group I would say is busy professionals. If you're a busy professional, if you're a student, and that's another group, a student, or if you are a parent juggling multiple responsibility, that's another group. So busy professionals, students, parents juggling multiple responsibilities. Binge writing can help you make a lot of progress in limited windows. So, if you're like a busy professional, you have just a 3 hour, break in something, or you're a parent juggling different responsibilities, and you don't have every single day for that this is something you should try. You don't have to write every single day. You just need a few solid binges every week. And that works perfectly. You'll be able to progress with your writing. And this is also great for writers who are on deadlines. So probably write every day normally, but maybe you have an editor deadline, or you want to get your book out if you're a self-publisher, and if you're a self publisher and you want to publish your book, maybe your birthday is coming, or your anniversary, or you have something, an event that you want your book to be available at, so you are on a strict deadline, then it is important for you to make use of this binge writing. You may have a publishing contract, and the publisher is saying, I want this number of pages or this number of words out by this certain time. Or even if you are just putting yourself under the pressure to make sure that your book is out, you will need to binge write. Now, if you are the kind of writer who thrives on daily rituals, writing 200 words every morning with your coffee, binge writing might not be the best for you, because then you find yourself that you are putting yourself under a lot of stress that doesn't fit your schedule and your lifetime. And that's very okay. Not every method works for everybody. So if you are somebody who is regimented, who has a stable schedule, who works in a stable time frames, it's okay. You must not binge write to be a successful writer. Now, the beauty of binge writing is the flexibility. It's there when you need speed, focus, and productivity. Pick up your binge writing cap, wear it, and binge away. All right. So let me share my personal binge writing routine, because I do binge write and I enjoy it. It helps me to move fast and to get into character with my characters. So I like to use snacks, and I have some fruits, healthy fruits and veggies. I like carrots. I like avocados, and I like nuts like cashew nuts or groundnuts. I keep them. I don't put a lot at a time, because then I'll just be eating. I won't be able to concentrate on the work I want to do. So I do that. I just keep those snacks, and then I keep my bottle of water with my lemon in it close by, and that's what I start. And then I outline my scenes. Sometimes I take like maybe 15-20 minutes. Sometimes I've already done it the day before or the week before I start binging, because that helps me to keep going, like I said. And I don't personally use music when I'm writing. I want quiet. I want everywhere quiet. But if you like music in the background, or sometimes you would like to be watching something, some people like to be watching maybe a show show or something, you can set that up immediately. And then I binge, as in like I binge. I can go 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at a stretch. But if you are just starting, I'll advise set your timer. Set your timer for 45 minutes and then dive in. And then after each sprint, you can take a break, stretch, walk around. I usually do that. I go for maybe 2 or 3 sprints in a 4-5 hour binge. And that gives me a lot of, energy to continue. At the end of the day, I may have like 3 to 5,000 words. Sometimes it's more, depending on how the characters are hooking me. But then at the end of my binging, I can jot down a few things that I may have left off, things that I want to revisit the next time I pick my manuscript. That way, my session normally starts smoothly. And this routine has really helped me as a writer to write faster, to finish my drafts with less stress. Binge writing isn't about chaos. It's about creating controlled, creative, explosive moments where your story bursts onto the page in all its messy, glorious beauty. The next time you're stuck, try scheduling your own binge. Shut out the world, set a goal. Kids are in school, or you have a short period during your vacation, or well, let me not say vacation, because if you are doing family vacation, then you shouldn't be binge writing, because that would not be nice. But maybe you have a day off at work and you decide, okay, this is what I'm going to use that time to do. Make sure that you are in the kind of environment, the kind of space where you are able to write. Set a goal for yourself and let your creativity flow. Now, if you have found this video helpful, remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. I have so many other beautiful, wonderful, helpful videos in my Right to Live Forever playlist. So go check it out. And if you want to go deeper, join my channel memberships. I have a couple videos that are just for my members alone that will really, really help you. And so for this video and other videos that you appreciate, you can tap the super thanks button right beside the subscribe button just to support me and to support this channel. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your longest binge writing session? Was it 1 hour or 3 hours? Or maybe an entire night like me? Let's share our stories and inspire each other. Remember, you don't have to write forever. Just write to live forever. And until the next video, thank you for watching. God bless you.